Hello, this is Sunburst Basser, and I'm here with a little tutorial on how to actually hold the bass guitar. And I'm making this because a lot of people I've noticed when they first pick up the bass, they have no clue how to properly hold it, and they end up with a lot of arm pains right in here and in here, or right in here in the left wrist, or fretting hand wrist if you're left-handed. So I'm making this video to show kind of what has been successful for me, and I've been gigging live for over 10 years now, playing 4 hours or more a night at my regular gigs. So this is all based on my personal experiences, and this is what works for me. If it doesn't work for you, kind of the general rule of thumb is if your muscles are tired, that's okay. That just means you're using muscles that you haven't used before. If you're sore, if you feel pain, stop. Because that means that something is bent at the wrong angle and you're going to cause an injury down the line somewhere. So first off, I'd like to show you where I strap the bass. Now, every person is built a little bit differently. I'm just over 6 feet tall, but most of that height is above the legs. It's the top half of my body, not counting the legs. You get it. So I'm much longer from here up than I am from here down. And I also have relatively long arms. So my bass sits quite a bit lower than it does on a lot of people. You see a lot of bass players that put their bass up here. And for me, that's very uncomfortable for my right hand. So experiment with your strap. Any kind of strap is good, but you just want one that's adjustable like this. This is kind of a wide strap. If you don't have one like this, it's fine. You just need one that's adjustable so you can find your height. I have a friend who is just starting bass, and she is roughly half a foot shorter than me with really short arms, and the bass literally sat on her knees using this exact strap. So that, of course, would not work for her. So you'll want to make some adjustments with your strap. Once you've got it set, how you actually hold the bass with your hands is really conducive to good bass playing if you do it right. And I'm playing a PV Millennium here. This is the most normal shaped bass that I own. This is a fretless bass. I took the frets out of it, so you'll get a little bit of that in the video, but this is just the closest thing to a normal, Fender type bass that I own. So I've noticed a lot of people, when they first pick up the bass, they put the bass guitar right in front of them, so it's just center. And when you do that, it naturally points straight out. Now, your plucking hand is okay. This is all right over here, but your left hand will get really screwed up here. Now, if you notice, I've got this really weird angle right here, and that's actually kind of sore. So the only way to really hold the bass like this comfortably is to wrap that thumb around it, and that's actually going to limit your mobility. So when you're holding the bass using the strap, what you want to do, bring that neck up a ways, and what I often tend to do is, it's much more comfortable. I don't like to stand just straight on. I tend to put one leg forward, specifically my right one, so the bass kind of sits to the right side of my body just slightly. And I've noticed that for women this might be handy, because the cutaway will sit under here, and this one's not even going to get touched. So, and I've known some women bass players who, they had to struggle to find a good place to hang the bass guitar because their boobs get in the way. So experiment with a little, try putting it off to the side. I thought this was kind of a weird way to do it for a long time, but then I saw Victor Wooten live some years back. I noticed that he was holding his bass slightly to the right. So this puts the left hand, the fretting hand, slightly in front of you, and the right hand pretty much to the side, just kind of hanging over the side of the bass. Which, if you've got a contour right there, it'll just fit on there just perfect. And from here, there's no tension on my left hand. I can get all over the neck if I need to very easily. There is no, the entire weight of the bass is on the strap. If I let go, the bass just is still, it stays still. So my left hand is not holding it up. It's not a neck-heavy bass, which I own some neck-heavy basses, and with those, if you don't get a good strap that really holds them in place, they're always kind of falling down, so you're fighting to hold them up, but they're going down, so it actually does limit your mobility. As far as where the right hand goes, I like to keep it flexible, because really, you have from the end of the fingerboard here, effectively right up to the bridge, is your playing area. You know, so usually I play over by the bridge, so I just rest my thumb on the pickup. I don't try to jam into it, it's just a rest. You know, and then I use that kind of as an anchor point. You know, but if I want a slightly warmer sound, I can go to the neck pickup here. You know, which is good for like your Motown stuff. Roll that tone control off. That kind of thing. You can even put your thumb way up here, which I know a lot of like old country bass players would play this way. Now, my natural tone has quite a bit of high end to it, but that's usually going to be a very, very muted, very dull place to play the bass guitar. So if you want just kind of a big round bottom, almost like a reggae bass, you know, roll that tone off, maybe roll some bridge pickup off so it's all this guy. It's not really reggae, but it's the big round tone, almost like an upright with a lot more sustain. And as far as the left hand goes, with guitar you'll see a lot of guitar players that put their thumb over the side, and when I play guitar I do that. With bass, you want to keep that thumb roughly in the middle of the neck, and mine is usually parallel, more or less, with my pointer finger. And from there, the thumb just acts as an anchor. It just provides the support so that my fingers can push the strings down to the wood, or the frets if you have frets on your bass. You know? You can also, if you want, you can use your lowest string as a thumb rest, which if you're not playing on that string, maybe with some like a fusion chart or something, that can make a good rest, and then you got all this room to use. I'll also use what's called a floating thumb technique and use different strings to rest on, but I don't do that a whole lot, mostly just on these two guys. You know, that'd be something like Animal Bar. You see my thumb stays on that E string. Or if I want to do kind of something similar, but maybe more jocko-y, you know, if my thumb is rested well, then these fingers will be able to move quickly. When your left hand is fretting the notes right, getting around the neck is not going to be a problem. And if you're having trouble getting around the neck, if it's not from just a lack of experience and lack of practice, it's probably from, you know, trying to give everything a death grip. I mean, if you've really got your thumb like that, you try to get around, you know, everything is going to be a lot stiffer. And you don't want it stiff. You want everything smooth. Smooth bass sounds better than stiff, you know, choppy bass. When you listen to your good bass players, it doesn't matter who they are. They all have a very smooth sound. It doesn't matter whether it's you know, like a Creedence Clearwater Revival bass line, or whether it's something more like a Victor Wooten, where he's doing, this is gonna be on fretless, so this is gonna sound terrible, but he does that a lot better. But you always want it smooth, or maybe like a Beatles thing. You want to keep it smooth, especially with a bass line like that where there's all these jumps. So I hope this has helped you, and I'm going to be making more of these videos. So let me know what you think. Long live the low end.